Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Izzati Binti Ismail. I would like to introduce about heritage. Heritage is the full of our value, monument, object, and culture that has been inherited. Based on Oxford language, the word heritage means property that is or may be inherited on and a special or individual possession. What is cultural heritage? Cultural heritage is the activity and product recording, documenting, and managing information of cultural heritage, the legacy of a community or culture which is inherited from past generation, physical object, and intangible qualities.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Noor Athirah Binti Abu Hashim. Today, I would like to present about types of heritage. Okay, heritage is divided into two types, which is first is cultural heritage. Cultural heritage is expression of the way of life developed by society and passed down from generation to generation, including costumes, practice, places, objects, expression, and value of art. Okay, second is natural heritage. Natural heritage is elements of biodiversity, including flora and fauna, ecosystem, and geological structure. Okay, next is types of cultural heritage. Okay, cultural heritage is also divided into two things, which is first is tangible heritage and second is intangible heritage. Tangible heritage is something that remains visible and held either static or movable. Okay, intangible heritage is knowledge and expertise interpreted through oral traditional, customary, and cultural values, language, and literature. Okay, this is the list of tangible heritage. First is cultural heritage sites, historic sites, museums, handicraft, natural sacred sites, cultural landscape, the movable cultural heritage, underwater cultural heritage, the documentary and digital heritage, and lastly, cinematography heritage. Okay, next is list of intangible heritage, which is oral traditions, languages, festive events, rites and beliefs, music and songs, the performing arts, traditional medicine, literature, culinary traditional, and lastly the traditional sports and games. Okay, next is list of natural heritage. First is national parks and state parks. Second, marine park. Third, wetlands of or Ramsar site. Fourth, wildlife rehabilitation center. Fifth, mangrove forest reserve. Sixth, reserve forest. Seven, wildlife reserve. 8, Mergastua Reserve. 9, indigenous reserves. And lastly, lakes, river, and also the sea.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Izzati Binti Ismail. I would like to present about cultural heritage in tourism. Tourism is one branch that has long contributed attracting tourists in particular with special interest in heritage and arts. Studies illustrate that tourists are interested in history. It seems cultural and heritage are interesting thing to know. Emerge as a potential from alternative tourism among international tourists as well as domestic travelers from Malaysia. Defined as travelling to experience the location and events that authentically reflect the history and people of the past and present. Has long existed, but there have been recent shifts in demographic, social, and cultural heritage. New tourism trend has emerged today known as cultural heritage. This pattern is apparent in the increase in the number of tourists who are looking for adventure. As for example is London British Museum, Paris Louvre, China Terracotta Army, which is a lot of people wish list to visit that place. Next is important cultural heritage, advantage for operators and host population beyond quick income that enhance the quality of life for everyone. First is market force. Tourism agencies conduct the tourism activities and motivation survey, which is terms in 2017 that revealed trends support the case electricity for more cultural and heritage tourism and better evolution. Tom's conduct with Canadian and United States market found that after shopping and eating, cultural heritage include the highest rate involvement rates of all tourism activities for both countries. Second is demographic trends. A growing demand for cultural and heritage tourism products become the demographic profile of nations around the world that has been the trendsetter in the marketing for decades. Third is economic trends. Global tourism industry has adapted and reshaped in response to economic, political, social, and environment forces. Tourism has been big impact to certain countries, as for example, Paris, Korea, and Istanbul, because the country has their own heritage that people love to see. Next is benefit of cultural and heritage tourism. First is economic benefit. Tourists spend money for the certain country, creating unique selling proposition. As you can see, today a lot of country has been infected by the COVID-19, which is a lot of people cannot travel around the world. It has been dropped for the economy for certain country because there is no more tourists to spend money for their country. Second is authenticity. In order to successful in cultural and heritage tourism, it must be authentic. Can be challenged for a tour operator. Authority meaning the operator has been permissioned by the appropriate cultural custodian to present stories to the public. It means it needs authority for present the stories of the certain country to public. Third is the truth of about soft benefit. Being benefit emotional and physical health. Participants in cultural activities can expand awareness of sustainability issues leading to reduced environmental impact. Benefit of cultural and heritage tourism has a lot to country because it's reflect how the country works and the people from the past and present of their life behavior.
Alright, next let's proceed with our slide of Cultural Heritage Information System. But before that, let me introduce myself. My name is Muhammad Hamiduddin bin Muhammad Radzi, metric number 20204775454. A key problem in cultural heritage is the management of information. Dealing with heritage sites and artifacts involve a large volume of data, for example, a text document, images, measurement, and so forth. The data collected usually comprise information about the spatial location or distribution of the object feature, so it therefore seems natural to bind the data to the object surface. Also, information systems are a powerful general-purpose information management tools. Nevertheless, they cannot solve all the information management problems of the culture heritage site. Next is the type of heritage information system. Firstly is the physical type, which has a document and photographic inventories and catalog. The advantage by using the physical type is simple to set up and a low cost, while the disadvantage of using it is hard to search and physical storage requirement can become a challenge. Next is a localized electronic database. Advantage by using it is highly customizable, relatively easy to get started with, while the disadvantage the interaction with the other inventories is difficult, adding and managing data can be complex and non-standard. Thirdly, we have the Geographic Information System (GIS). Advantage by using this type is a strong data management potential and a highly customizable, while the disadvantage is required consideration input of mapping info, steep learning curve, and can be costly. Last but not least, we have 3D Earth Viewer, which is an online geographic information system (GIS) with a spatial imagery. Advantage by using the 3D Earth Viewer type is the combined advantage of the geographic information system that we have said before this, with an intuitive and easy to understand real background, while the disadvantage of using the 3D Earth Viewer type is not as useful for a non-spatial data and also nothing more than a nice visual interface. Next is four main types of Cultural Heritage Information System (CHIS), which is we have search, browsing, recommendation, and enrichment. Firstly, we have search. The search engine provides direct access to the collection. Search engine index the representation of the collection object. Example, making museum collection metadata accessible, searching through wartime radio broadcasts and unlocking the television broadcast archives. Archive. Alright. Next we have browsing. Browsing support free to semi-guided exploration of collections. Object metadata allow for links between objects where clicking on a link shows all object all other objects for a shared property. Example, exploring digital cultural heritage space in personalized access to cultural heritage space and semantic portal for the cultural heritage. Next, we go to the recommendation. Recommended system provide suggestion for a new content with a non-personalized where it's more like this functional and personalized where it's suggestion for a new content based on a past interaction. System record implicit or explicit evidence of user interest. For example, the personalized museum tour. Okay, last but not least, we have enrichment. Enrichment covers all approach that add extra layer of information to collection object. Typically, use machine learning to predict additional information relevant for an object. Example, the automatically correction database entry error and historical event detection in text. Alright, last in the Cultural Heritage Information System is their architecture. As you can see on the slide, we have two examples of the Cultural Heritage Information System architecture, which is an app container and a knowledge base. Alright, firstly, app container. A container for application that can interact with the platform. Application can take advantage of the Special Application Program Interface (API) for the invocation of platform services and can work with various devices. In particular, the applications for smartphones and tablets allow the connection to services based only on location. With this app, tourists during trips will have a dynamic information related to their travel or to other services or an interaction located along their route and an up-to-date information and also an interactive services available on site. Next is a knowledge base. The amount of information that the platform in question will collect from all of the sources of information is a particularly rich, varied, and articulate source of knowledge. The availability of such a large set of data collected through smart devices, sensor network, and user activity provide an effective opportunity to enable knowledge sharing services based on the ability to process, collaborate, analyze, and share a massive amount of data. A link open data can be easily linked to other websites such as a special multimedia database, digital libraries, and geodatabase, containing any multimedia descriptions such as a text, image, video, or audio, which can be formalized and managed in an integrated way through the use of anthologies stored in a standard format.